up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another quick reaction for you guys. But before we get into the video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you share and like the video and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. So I'm back with another quick reaction. In this video clip, this woman is asking why women are so mad and angry all the time. I want to go ahead and play the little clip. I want you to chime in the comments. Let me know why are black women so mad and angry all the time. Let me know in the comments if you have an idea why. I want to hear your thoughts on this one, but let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
I just don't understand what's wrong with black women, y'all. Like, y'all be walking around bitter and mean as like I goes in the grocery store or whatever. This girl just stare me up and down. I'm like, hey, how you doing? She didn't say back. Like, I just don't be understanding what be wrong.
Yeah, they squabbling out there now. Yeah.
Listen, it's funny, but it's not. And this is the question I asked myself too. Why, and I've come across some women like that. And once again, I like to specify it's not all. We know it's not all because there are some, I've come across very nice women of all different races. So it's not every woman, but for the ones that are, and once again, I will say this. You don't know what somebody is going through in their life. I mean, the ish could be hitting the fan. Things could be going horribly for them, but still, that's not a reason to treat unsuspecting people who you don't know, to treat them in a negative manner. And I think it just goes back to the nature of some women and how they're trying to cope with their issues, childhood trauma, just bitterness that they have in their heart. And then just some people are just mean. Some people are just mean. Some people just don't have a nice bone in their body at all. And they hate the world. They hate people. They just mad at themselves. They're mad at the world. And it shows. And even when you go to certain, you going to pay your bill, if they're in the, somebody or going to the grocery store, they just don't have a nice bone in their body. And these same women are the ones who get into relationships with men. And you think that attitude and those issues and that bitterness and anger, no matter where it stems from, that is going to be displayed in a relationship. So they're going to take that anger, that bitterness out on the person that they're with. And that you don't think that that's going to be a problem. And this is why I say, listen, you have to listen to what people say. You have to listen to what men say. You got to listen to what women say. But when it comes to women, they are a lot of times projecting their own feelings onto you guys. And I don't think that that's the way you handle it. But I think a lot of people are doing whatever they feel or think they need to do, even though it's not the right way, because they don't know any better. And so when you hear women talk about, I want a man to come to the table, he can't have no issues, he need to have it together, it's because they probably have dealt with men in the past who had trauma and issues. And I could see that. But at the same time, they always negate their own traumas and issues. A lot of women would like to make men think that they got it all together, that they've dealt with all of their issues and they're just so on another page, when in actuality, they're really not. They're really not. And that trauma and those insecurities and whatever is going on with them, it displays itself in the relationship. But because people aren't self-aware and they don't hold themselves accountable, they don't see what they do. They don't see how they place their trauma onto you. They don't see their negatives. They only regard themselves in a positive manner because that's how they want to see themselves. That's how they feel. And they believe that because maybe they got a job or they're working on themselves in some capacity, that they're completely where they need to be. And every man out here is just traumatic and haven't worked on himself and is lack any kind of skills that are valid and necessary for a relationship. They pin it all on the men, when in the truth of it all, a lot of these women have not worked on themselves. They do not have it all together. They have a lot of issues that stem from whatever past relationships, past traumas. And they really believe that they are just these top tier women that got it all together because they got a good job and they can pay for things, that emotionally, physically, and mentally, that they're stable. And a lot of times they're not as stable as they think they are. This is what becomes a divide when you deal with a man. And this is why I always say, listen, you have to understand both, just individual people in general. Understand that there are differences between men and women. We are not the same. And I think when you start to really focus on that and understand, hey, Women have certain things about themselves, and men do too. And some of those things are just inherent. It's just inherent in us, like the being emotional and all these. That is part of the nature of a woman. So for men, you got to understand that women are emotional for the most part. You might find some who are less emotional than others, but that is a part of our genetic makeup. It's not a part of our genetic makeup to be combative and disagreeable all the time and just mad and bitter and angry and aggressive. That's not a part of our nature, but there are certain things that are. And the same thing when it comes to men. There are certain men are masculine by nature. That's a part of who they are. You can't say, that masculine, what do they say? This basically is a problem to have masculine men when masculinity is basically a part of being a man. So there are certain things that are a part of our genetic makeup when it comes to men and women that just will not change. And you have to understand that. And the sooner we understand each other and what each person goes through on a bigger scale, and realize you cannot change a person, that you got to accept them for who they are or don't accept them at all. And if that's something that you're willing to do with the understanding that, hey, if it's a person who is actually working on themselves and want to do better in certain aspects and recognizes some negatives about themselves, because we all have negatives and positives. Women aren't all just positive, great creatures. That's just a lie that they're trying to perpetuate because they don't want to deal with their stuff. In order for a relationship to work and be beneficial to both parties, you have to put in the work. You have to go through what needs to be gone through to be able to understand each other, basically. That's it. It's not rocket science. It's just people make things more complicated than it actually is because people are selfish. You're not going to be able to get every single thing that you want in a relationship. That wouldn't be a relationship. You have to be able to compromise, cooperate, and work together and build together. If you can't do that, that is why relationships don't work, and that's why they'll never work. The only way you're going to be able to get 100% of the things that you want in a relationship is you being alone by yourself. You call the shots. You don't have to listen to nobody. You don't have to check in with nobody. You don't have to tell them where you're going, what time you might be back. If that's the issue, you don't have to worry about a man or a woman, anybody telling you how to dress, what to wear, where you're going, who you're with. You are free to do whatever it is that you want as a single individual. And for some, that's what they want. But for those who think that they can do whatever they want without ain't nobody saying anything, you don't want a man to tell you nothing, you don't want a woman to say nothing, she can't be concerned about this, he can't be concerned. Like, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. And this is why you have so many people complaining about control and manipulation and all this, when a lot of times, in a lot of cases, it's not control and it's not manipulation. It's just a person being concerned about you. That is a part of what protection looks like when it comes to a man. Listen, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to be notified when I upload new content. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.